All right, quiet on the shit, everyone. Quiet on the shit. Quiet. Quiet on the shit.
When last we left off, Eleanor had just had her conversation with Anastasia and is heading down towards Riverside to the sunken temple where the being known as Grace resides. And Angelo had just had a very unexpected conversation with Arana Lovelace regarding his impending revolution attempt on House Ferrywell. So, we're going to go ahead and pick up with Eleanor. As you have begun your trek deep into the bowels of the Undercity, you are no longer in Hightown. You are no longer surrounded by the grandeur and the nobility and the beauty of money. You have made your way into Lowtown on your way to Riverside. Lowtown is a heinous place, for lack of better terms. The smell from the river, which functions as the main sort of sewer outlet for the entire city, rises and heats to a very fine sort of paste in the air, shall we say. You can taste and chew the fecal materials in this area, as well as immense body odor and just general sort of smells of spices and mildew, and it's a strange sort of mixture of all different kinds of things happening, as this is the place where there are a lot of different bazaars and marketplaces and individual stalls, but it's also the place where there are just copious amounts of unwashed and purposeless bodies.
I cast mage armor.
And as you do, the arcane energy sort of swirls around you, and the ward that you've now sort of manifested does kind of protect you a bit from some of the stench. It sort of lessens the effect of it. However, you do still see just writhing bodies all around you. Some of them are just literally in piles on the ground, trying to just kind of like keep warm and like sleep. As a few of them do seem to be sick, not like with any particular plague or anything, but just general fatigues and starvation kind of shakes, maybe perhaps like even drug shakes. And that being said, as well, as you're walking through, you do see a couple of people wandering around who seem to not know which realm they're in, as you recognize that they've probably partaken of either some Amerian spice or something different. You see a few people who do seem a little bit more affluent, who seem to be passing through on their way up, perhaps from the docks, or on their way down, perhaps from the quarter, as you are. And I think the most definitive thing is that about every few steps, you can find one of the Rivershot boys in their red military uniform with their gold scarves and their 16 guns all over themselves, harassing some non-Healden person.
Meanwhile, me on my skeletal horse
are unapproached. And
better not.
There's not the kind of like pathways that you see in the quarter where it's like huge groups of people moving one way, huge groups of people moving the other way. In Lowtown, it's a lot more just congested and like conflicting, where everyone's just trying to go through each other to get where they need to go and kind of pass through on the sides and stuff. So as you move through with a fucking skeletal horse, the roads part. So you're able to get through no problem as you continue making your way down through Lowtown and into the lowest level of the Undercity, that being Riverside. Cutting back to Angela, as you've finished your treacherous conversation with Arana, what now does Angelo do?
I'm going to take out some of my disguises. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put on, for this specific disguise, a bald cap right over me, right?
Okay.
I'm going to take out like this little charcoal kind of thing, pencil on. Oh, wait, no, I already
You already have a mustache.
I know. What am I going to do about this beard? Dude, straight up. Ooh. I'm going to... Ooh.
Yeah, so you kind of like tie your dreads back in a bit more of like a bun.
Yeah.
You kind of put this bald cap on and sort of begin to sort of massage that in, and then yeah, you.
I'm really looking for a specific type of style with this beard where I can like have a little very thin mustache, but I don't want. But he's thinking long term. He doesn't want to fuck up this, everything. But he's like, bro, I really need this disguise of a very prominent beard. So he's just gonna fucking take out a dagger and start like crappily cutting it.
Okay.
But he's leaving the stash intact. But it's so like essentially what it's gonna look like, because he's gonna go get cleaned up anyways. Is gonna be a very patchy kind of like done like cut
like a
beard.
servant's shave, rather.
Yeah,
than
and then
shave.
like a full-on weird mustache that's kind of penciled in but really thick.
Okay.
And then
I'm excited to draw this.
and then he's going and then he's gonna take out like a monocle and put it on. And then his clothes. He's just gonna wear like your ye old delivery boy fucking like official delivery.
It's like
official.
a simple kind of frock shirt, and then like some more like less well pleated kind of slacks and more just like loose sort of trousers, and like there's no belt. You're probably like kind of continuing to like pull them up every once in a while as you're walking through.
And then
where do you put all your old clothes? You just put them in like a bag and set them aside, or are you taking them with you?
I might just put them in the sack that I have. Imagine I have like a little sack that I carried around,
you
and I'm
swing it
gonna
over your
act
shoulder.
as if it's a delivery thing. So I'm gonna take one of the letters that I had us write before and sign, and I'm gonna put it in the,
At the top
sack.
of the sack, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to. Oh yeah. And then by the way, this needs to be very prominent. He tucks in his pants and pulls up the socks over them.
Okay.
I know that's really weird, but it looks goofy.
No, that's fine.
And I imagine that's what like.
What about your boots?
Dude, I know. I already was thinking about that. So he has to take them off, right?
Yes.
Puts them in the
So
sack.
your beautiful like sapphire blue, almost like crystalline boots with this gold sort of lightning design, like streaking through it like veins in a crystal.
Dude, I was
Very
thinking about
clearly magical.
I was thinking about going barefoot, but like not today, because like not for this. So like, I imagine that he takes these really trash ass, like to him, very trash ass like sandals.
I like that as you're hiding behind this washer bin, you're just like pulling out all these clothes
Dude,
from
yes.
from the dirty clothes and are like putting them on and shit.
They're like the sandals that they'd wear, like the Greeks would wear, those
Yeah.
kind of like things. But then he's like, man, I hate these, but they're actually really great shoes. But for him,
It's a typical kind of American
Yeah.
thing, loose sandals or like open toe kind of shoes like that.
so he's gonna
Definitely
put them on, and then
very uncomfortable.
he's gonna head over.
All right, you do, and as you did take off those boots, this like light and sort of electricity that was kind of ever present with them sort of faded as they kind of were like taken off of you and detached from the source of their magic. So, as you make your way now out of behind the sort of, I imagine like a little alcove kind of where the servants do all the washing and things, and you sort of make your way out of that, now looking completely different than you had before. Go ahead and let's just do like you could do performance, and we'll do it with advantage because you put, all the effort into it and everything, but I want to have kind of a good idea of what level of disguise this is.
Oh my god,
How believable.
that's a 8. Rolled
Okay.
really crappy.
Well, it's meant to be a little bit of a crappy disguise, but I just wanted to kind of know what other people are going to be able to see as you're going through, certain people. So
Everyone.
you make your way through the city, and no one pays you any mind. You are treated like a servant as you're continuing up the western fell towards the Brentverthen's bank. The bank, as you do approach, is massive. I know I say massive a lot. It is titanic. It is about 60 feet tall. It's this gothic, almost like cathedral-like design with these like jagged, angular kind of spires that sort of come up and then continue to go up, sort of like an Eye of Sauron kind of thing from Lord of the Rings. On either side, these like big ballistae. And then in the center, there's this huge like drawbridge, basically, that comes down over a literal fucking moat around the bank. There are soldiers, very visibly non-Healden, non-living soldiers. Giant, not skeletal though. They seem to have like still musculature on them, but they're like skeletons with the muscle sort of attached in certain places. And they're big and bulky, and they're wearing this black armor with the Grievenhoft seal on their chest. or rather the Brentworth seal of the two crossed keys. And they're standing there with giant pikes as you walk past. They don't even seem to move. They're just these fucking statues. And each of them are about 8 feet tall. As you continue in, the inside of the building is just as extravagant as the outside. It's this sort of obsidian and gold sort of color scheme all throughout with like some sort of pearlescent white sort of walls. And the floor is this like onyx black tiling, like marble sort of tiling. And as you make your way in, there is a very bustling sort of economy happening here. All sorts of people are talking to all sorts of other people that seem to be doing very official things. And you make your way towards the front where the sort of tellers are, basically. There's a Stiltsgardian woman, very nice, with long black hair down to like her chest. And she's just sort of sitting there, and she looks up and she says, "Can I help you?"
Yes. I need him to. One moment. I need him to inquire about the Von Rocht accounts because they sent me to make sure everything is tip-top shape.
Sounds like a scam artist.
I having a letter of approval from the Von Rocht, Angelo, and
Right.
Eleanor Von Rocht. See,
She just reaches out and says, "Yes."
please.
Fucking shit. Oh man. Okay, hold on.
That's a good voice.
We're gonna have to do another take. Fuck. You got me. You got me with the pauses. The like. God, I lost my accent. Hold on a sec. You fucking killed me, dude.
Yes, just give the letter and
She sort of opens it and looks through it, and her hands are kind of shaking because, like, she's not really sure what's going on here. She's, like, half expecting to be robbed. And so she kind of, like, looks over at one of the guards, and one of the guards kind of, like, turns towards you. And she's just kind of reading through the letter. And the letter is the one that you wrote or the one that Eleanor wrote?
I wrote and I sealed it.
Yeah, so she's looking through it, she says, "Oh,
Yeah, we like both signed it and sealed it.
well, everything does seem to be in order here.
Yes.
All right.
You can even run it through your thing, so you're not fake. I am the new one.
Yes. So, what exactly is it that you
I
require?
needing to making the accounts. I needing to making sure everything is in order. All of the accounts. I need a statement.
Right.
Please.
Tip-top shape, you say. Yes.
And I needing a statement. I needing a statement from you. Please. I'm very busy.
She says, "All right. Well, we will have that ready for you. Go sit over there, and I will have someone bring it to you when we are finished."
Okay.
I'm
Girl
still standing
interrupts.
there.
So, yeah, as you just stand there with your awkward smile, staring daggers, she kind of trying not to look up at you, and then kind of does and looks back. She begins very feverishly trying to write this as quick as she can, officially sort of looking through some books and making sure that she's getting all the right numbers and everything. And at that point, we'll go ahead and cut back to Eleanor. As you have now made your way into... man, take inspiration for that, bro. That was fucking great. I can't get back to center right now.
What's the DM inspiration?
So the way that inspirational work in my world is it's going to be on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
I might go for something that's like a little bit more extensive of like some inspiration options. But for now, what we're going to go with is it is not advantage. It's basically a luck point. So it's not just re-roll a d20 roll. It's roll another d20, and then determine if you use that roll or if you want to use it like against someone. So like if someone rolls, to hit you, you could use your inspiration to try to roll against it and roll like lower and make them use that or something. Or like saves and stuff. Like basically any d20 roll that is made at the table, you can replace it with your die roll.
I like
That's kind of what I'm going with.
I
right
like
now.
it.
And
This
that way
is
it like
good.
works with advantage too.
Very good.
And then the other type of inspiration I'll probably do are going to be normal dice, so it'll be like a d6 or a d12 or whatever that you just add to stuff like bardic inspiration.
Very good.
Okay, so, Alienors, you've made your way down to Riverside.
Yes.
The smell is much stronger. Even with your mage armor, it pierces.
Yeah.
It is so unexpectedly cold down here. As the rest of the city is always pretty hot, pretty stale, and pretty stagnant. Down here, there's this like breeze that pretty much doesn't exist anywhere else, and it is so cold.
That's alright.
Everyone around you is shivering and seems to be just not in a good way. Again, not illness sick, but just
Fatigue.
fatigued and weak and pained. There's groaning is like kind of the chorus down here, the orchestra of groaning, just all throughout. Various non-Healden types. Those who can walk are working. You see many people, orcs and Darasani, all of them with very large muscles that seem to have built from all of this very hard labor as you see them picking big crates and boxes up off of these boats and loading them onto the docks and into the warehouses and then loading things back from the warehouses back onto the boats, as the river itself, the Veals River, being about probably about 100 feet wide or so, and infinitely long as far as you can see in either direction, is just packed with, at this point, probably about 50 different boats or ships, some of which are passing through, some of which are docked on the side, and one of which seems to be very, very large and official. It looks to be some sort of like, maybe even like an ambassador's ship or something. It's like some of these are boats, smaller sort of vessels. This is a much larger vessel. It has cannons attached to the side. It looks to be about 20 cannons on either side of the vessel. There are an entire sort of platoon of what looks to be soldiers wearing all white armor, which you've never seen before.
Okay, good. So it's not Hexion.
Well, you could go ahead and roll, let's say, history.
Fucking
Try to determine
Christ.
what this is.
Don't be from the ding. Don't be from the ding. No mages, go away. 19. Very good at
This
history.
is the livery, not of Ceres proper, but of the Ceres Arcane Investigator. As you see all of this white and red livery, and the boat itself, the ship rather, the large sort of vessel, is a 3-mast, full-size kind of brig, and essentially all of the people who are upon it are wearing this white armor with red sort of designs all throughout it, and they seem not like they're in full plate or anything. It's like half plate or just some hauberks that have the sigil of the Ceres Arcane Investigator, which is similar to your sigil, but red instead of being purple.
Yo, this bitch has a whole fucking battleship, and what do I get? Like, a half-assed shop, and damn.
What's she doing?
We need a fucking
on
ship.
Our town? This is our town.
Yeah.
What is
Well-
she doing here?
I already kind of know.
I don't know.
You.
Well, we'll save that for when the two of you get together and
It would be-
Get the
discuss
fuck
it.
out of here. I just got back. She can see her way out.
Calm down.
So,
I know why she's here. It'll be metagamey though if I tell you.
right. So if you, as you rather, continue to make your way through, having seen and saw all of that, you continue towards this large shape in the distance, this form of what used to be a structure that is now slid and fallen. You can see the cracking stone along the way that has also begun to fall into the river alongside it. And as you continue closer and closer, you begin to make out these very long tendrils of ice. that seem to be ever frozen, not even dripping with water, that are sticking up like a giant frozen tree sculpture, basically twisting and turning and holding, impaled upon 4 different frozen pikes, 4 bodies. As you get closer and closer to this structure, it gets colder and colder. As you realize that the ground around it is frozen, as well as parts of the river.
How far away am I from it now?
At this point, you're probably about, I'd say 100 yards or so.
Is the quarantine area still set up?
Looking, there does not seem to be anyone around.
These
Everyone is given it a wide
fucking
berth.
idiots.
And as you see that there is probably about 200 feet or so of distance of any living person.
But there's no Lowtown people. There's no Lowtown boys.
In point of fact, looking about in Riverside, go ahead and give me just a perception check.
23.
You see no Lowtown boys at all. No Riverside boys at all. Like a couple down by the docks, when you really squint and look down by the side where Docker's warehouses are and Farewell's warehouses, but down on this side, in the in more of the sort of Darasani ghetto and sort of Riani ghetto kind of areas around here, you do not see any presence.
Man,
of
these
guards.
boys are lazy as shit. Okay, okay, so it's pretty still crowded, right? It's still crowded around here, right? There's a lot of people.
There's something akin to people.
I
crumpled on the
stop
ground.
one of the workers, just like as I'm going towards the temple, and I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah, it's a big orcish man with a big mustache that seems very out of control as he turns around and says, Oh, yes,
I have but one question, please.
yes. He's just holding this huge crate in front of him.
Were there any Lowtown boys down here at all within the past 48 hours? Guarding.
We've not seen any river shots since that happened.
They haven't been guarding it or quarantining it at all.
No.
Thank you, sir.
No, they said that they were going to keep distance, and they told everyone else to keep distance, and so we have. We've diverted all of the ships to the upper docks as to avoid coming into contact. As he kind of points over, and you see now the pieces of wood sticking up out of the water of what you assume used to be that freighter that was taken down by the ice.
Good. Yes. That is a smart decision. Yes. Thank you very much.
Yes, your grace. As he kind of bows and kind of walks away.
She just kind of just looks at Bones and she's like, these fucking liars. Like, they say like, oh yeah, we have people down there quarantining the area. Bullshit.
Right.
Bullshit.
So,
Oh my god, what do they fucking do with their lives? She's so mad. Like people think that she's like doing illegal shit, which she is, but she did it to say like,
So,
she's holding back some anger.
we're gonna go ahead and cut there. As I know Alienor could speak forever on her anger.
Dude, I just love the interaction between her and the orc. It was just, yes, yes. It was like, yes.
Yes, yes. Very bad job, yes.
I mean, servants, man. They you
Well,
gotta
no,
realize.
she was saying yes too. She's
Living
like,
down here in the
Yes.
lowest section of the city, they are not expecting to ever encounter nobility. So when someone rides up on a fucking skeleton horse and asks him questions, his response is gonna be, he was like, I don't know
what?
how to deal with this.
Plus,
I was not prepared for
I
this.
will remind you, she's wearing all her sigils across her
Yeah,
chest.
he's like, is she gonna kill me? Like, what's happening? So, cutting back to Angela. You have gotten the writ. The writ denotes that there is, in total, in the Brentverthen Trust,
Was there any
for
more?
your family, 150 steel coins. Hold on. 3 copper and 1 blue diamond, which you know to be worth about a crimson.
How much is 150 steel?
So steel is equated basically to $1. So altogether, you guys have like around $400 or so worth of.
But back then, that's a lot of money.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No.
Was there any other accounts?
Holy shit.
No, it's
I want
one
to
account.
know.
All the other accounts have been closed or gone default.
Did I get a history of
And
them all?
Looking at the history of them, most of the expenses have been money that was put in, money that was put in, money that was taken out, like once in the last 4 months. And the expense that was used for, you would know, was purchasing some of the more recent arcane equipment that you guys came across. Other than that, it's mostly just money that was put in.
How
and
much
then
money was put in?
all
How
of
much
the
did we
money
have at
was
one
taken
point?
out. What was that?
How much money did we have at one point? Because they put he put in.
Never like a ton, because your father was very insistent as to not like try to raise prices for any of the work he was doing.
More than $400.
But definitely more than what you have now. I mean, the height of your account was probably like 500 crimson or so, which is around a noble's, estate worth. Like, you've definitely had money before. The problem, though, is you realize that your father has been paying a lot of people for various things. He used to pay for information as to not have to try and like fight people for shit. He would pay people off to try and sort of like lessen their offense towards him or towards his allies. Like, your father wasn't someone who really held on to money for anything other than like to try and solve problems.
Oh,
He
he
didn't
no
really
player.
like buy things in excess.
He no player, right? Very no good.
So she hands you another servant comes over, a smaller girl with purple hair, and as she comes over and hands you the paper, you're reading through it. You see that, and you also see that there are currently no other active accounts.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
If I want to open an account, I can. Right? I'm going to be making a lot of money soon.
Okay.
I have a small thing I'm starting. Also, can I get a loan here too? Do you do loans?
You would have to talk to Esrina. She might be able to help you.
No, it's a general question. You just do loan? Yes.
Yes.
For a small business?
Sure. It depends on what exactly the. I'm just the servant here, but if you do talk to Lady Esrina, she might be able to help you.
I like to shine shoes. It's good work. Make a lot of money. And now I
The
deliver.
world needs shoe shiners.
Yes, yes, but now I deliver notices for the people. I meet him, D'Angelo. Whenever I shine in his very nice shoes. Very good.
I'm sure that Lord Angelo has very nice shoes. I have to get back to
Yes.
work, but it was good to meet you, Mr. Okay, have a good day, sir.
Chavez. My name is Chavez.
She reaches out and shakes your hand as you're just never breaking eye contact and are constantly trying to kind of like look away. And
Chavez Enrique Uncheli Contelo. Yes.
Yes.
she just turns and like tries to get away as quick as possible. She seems very shaken.
Nice to meet you. I'm going to go deliver. Bye.
Fuck! You're throwing me off my damn game.
This is my accent. And
This is Angelo now.
Yes.
So, Angelo, as you finish your conversation there at the Brentworthen
Yes.
Trust, where do you go?
I don't know. I'm not having a message. I needing to leave the bank.
So, you make your way out. We'll go ahead
I
and
need to
cut
go.
as everyone, and this time all the guards are facing you, and they're watching you leave as you go.
Goodbye. Ciao. I see you later. I come back for loan. Yes. Maybe I join you just for free.
We cut back to Eleanor. As Eleanor, you are now standing, as I'd said, about 100 yards. I can't give you another inspiration. I'm sorry.
He inspires me.
From the temple. What would you like to do?
I am going to dismount.
Okay.
And have Bones dismount. And we will begin approaching the temple slowly, getting about 30 yards closer.
Okay.
Not too close, but close enough. So I want to get within 100 feet of the temple.
Okay, so you approach 200 yards. No, you approach 200 feet because you were 300 feet away.
Yeah. And then I'm going to have Bones bring Kristoff with us. Like, they're all kind of following behind me as I'm slowly shuffling, with my fucking limp leg and no cane.
So you're just kind of shuffling like a fucking zombie, and then you've got your skeleton horse and your skeleton butler walking behind you.
And then I crouch down on my knees and just kind of like sit, and I pick up Lady, and I just put her beak to my nose.
Okay.
And I just, in her head, I'm just like, you can do this. You are strong. You're beautiful. And I love you, and I will bring you back if anything happens. But for now, I need your eyes and your wings. And then I let her go with the note attached to her foot. Mm-hmm. And like a little white ribbon attached to her other foot. And Eleanor's eyes cloud over as if she's blind as she looks through Lady's eyes as Lady takes flight and begins heading towards the entrance of the temple. Okay. But before that, did I already send a note to Angelo? Did I say I did that?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, right before that.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm a little confused. Right before that, I'm going to just send a little note to Angelo saying, meet me at the temple as soon as possible.
Okay.
And then I do the lady thing, and she heads off into the thing as I'm looking, and I can see, as long as she's within 100 feet of me, I can see through her eyes. So at the very least, the entrance to the temple and like what maybe in the first chamber or so, I should be able to see. But once she gets farther than that, I probably won't be able to see.
So the temple itself seems to be fairly small. It's large in grandeur, but it's very small in its actual like construction. There doesn't seem to be multiple rooms. Appearing from what you can look at, maybe there might be like small rooms, but it looks to be more of just one big room kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's part of it, it's just kind of like it used to be like this, and now it's like this.
Gotcha.
So part of it is in the water, and part of it isn't now. Essentially, yeah, as you send that, and what did the letter say to Angelo?
The letter to Angelo just said, I'm in Riverside by the temple. Finish whatever you're doing and come down as soon as you can.
So, as you do that, and as you do kneel down, and you let Lady go and all that, everyone is watching you. No one has ever seen magic. Like, even really like your horse, down here. Like, that's not what people see in Riverside. Riverside is very mundane, very non-magical. It's Docker territory. It's guns and gunpowder. So the idea that you're sitting here casting magic in the middle of the square, there are lots of people, even people who seem like
I'm several hundred yards away from them.
They don't have a lot of strength to kind of get up. They're sort of giving it effort to kind of sit up and lean against a wall and kind of look out and see what's happening. Like, everyone is interested in what you're doing right now.
Yeah, and her head is just like lulled back. Like, she's just...
Yeah. And as you send Lady, and she takes off into the temple and disappears into the darkness, we kind of see like a fade and cut back to Angelo. As Angelo, the bag that you've got slung over your shoulder, where I assume you've put your messenger bag.
I am Chavez.
As Chavez, your bag begins to warm a bit on your back and sort of jingle a bit. As you know, that's sort of the sign that a letter has appeared in your messenger bag.
The audience doesn't know, but Chavez, I have plans for Chavez.
The audience doesn't know that Chavez is Angelo.
Everybody's looking down on him like he's the underdog. When he's going to come out on top, I'm telling you. Anyways.
Angelo forgets who he is one morning and just is
Hey,
Chavez.
Chavez. Oh, I killed the dragon.
Okay. Chavez the Dragon Slayer.
Yes.
Bro. Okay, so yeah, the bag shakes.
I dart over to a corner.
Okay. Yeah, you do, and no one seems to even see you disappear. They just see Chavez walk out, and then he's gone. And you do notice a couple of people kind of look around like, where the hell did Soft? What just happened to that dude?
Yes.
As you're just kind of that stealthy,
Yes.
just on average.
So I'm gonna take it all off, and then also, God, I need to at least cleanly. So I'm just gonna try to shave off as much as I can. At least leave the little soul patch.
Yeah.
Have a little Spaniard stash.
Bro, you
going
were
on.
living on the ocean. You pull out your dagger, flip it open like it's a barber's knife, and just fucking get all that shit.
And
It
then,
is like you don't even have to roll for it. It's clean.
And then I dress up. Everything's good. Okay.
Yeah, you look
I
like
ch-
Angelo again.
I check out my message. What's going on?
It just says that she's in Riverside and she's waiting for you. And get there as soon as you can.
Is there like a building in front of me?
The Brentworthen Trust is atop the Western Fell. It's at the very top of it, on the peak of it. The moat sort of goes around in like a ring, almost like a water volcano kind of effect. And as you're looking out, all you see is the vast Paradiso Valley beyond.
Is there like a little waterfall or anything
Yeah, kind of coming off the side of the back of the fell.
that could lead back down for my climb up?
Not back into the city. It would go out, down into one of the tributaries that meets back in the Vils River.
And the Vils River is where she's at.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'm just gonna ride that waterfall, dude.
Okay. So you just leap
What
off the side of the fell.
Yeah, bro, let's go.
the fuck?
Dude, yeah.
All right.
He's just like, oh, dude, this is the quickest way. Like, fuck it. I mean,
Give me a.
let's go.
So it's a mountain.
It is a mountain.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The fell is a mountain.
With a rocky bottom.
The waterfall. It's gonna be a little rocky, a little bit challenging, but let's see what you can do here.
We
So
don't have.
let's
feathers,
go for acrobatics to start. Give me athletics to start. Let's see how far you get from the roof, the peak of the mountain.
Wait, you're telling me you jumped off this mountain with no magic items or spells to catch you?
Dude, fuck nah. Like,
This is how Angelo dies.
I was planning to ride down the wave. But,
You can't do that. That's not how it works.
That's not how that works.
You know, I'm just gonna land into water, dude. It's fine.
Yeah, that's more likely here. So give me an athletics check to determine how far you get off of the cliffside. Because here the goal would be to clear the waterfall and then hit where the waterfall is breaking the
14
water.
is athletics.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty solid. So now everyone is watching. You just leap off this fucking waterfall.
Why?
You clear past the waterfall itself, and now I need you to make acrobatics as you're falling very quickly, you try to dive into the water and
14 as well.
aim. So you're able to arc yourself. You arc a little bit late, but you're able to arc yourself, and now you're going pencil straight down, and you're trying to hit where the water's being broken by the fall. So now let me get just let's do dexterity with proficiency. So kind of the same thing as acrobatics. Just another acrobatics check, basically.
How?
24.
Okay.
Yes.
It is very cold. It does hurt. You can't take no damage from a fall. You
Oh.
take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you crash into the water. However, the waterfall is breaking the water where you hit. So as you do go in, you feel the impact, but you survive. And you kind of come up. The water is very cold, unnaturally cold, especially because the sun is hitting it. It should be warmer. And then you just want to sort of ride the current back down into the river.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Cutting back to Eleanor. During all of that, Eleanor,
Yes.
you wait for about 3 minutes as Lady disappears into the darkness. And you see everything here there's no lighting at all except for the soft sort of light, daylight that's coming, being able to eke through the other 2 layers of the Undercity. So Riverside's generally pretty dark anyway, but here you're getting some very, dark and spooky kind of vibes.
Yeah.
As you arrive, there is no perch to land upon. Everything on the inside is really just this sort of plaster building, and then it sort of just arcs up in this kind of like spiral design on the inside that as you look up looks sort of like a seashell, and kind of like this pearlescent sort of all the way up to the top.
Dope.
And there are glass windows, but they're not stained glass. They're just kind of regular glass. And they're shaped kind of like whirlpools, basically.
Oh.
Like going around.
Yeah,
so as
dope.
it kind of comes in, the light kind of disperses through them in such a way that it kind of creates these like spindly sort of light shafts.
Ooh.
As you enter in. It's very beautiful. But it's got an eeriness to it as everything is so cold and so silent. The air is still, despite there having been sort of wind outside. And this lady kind of sort of comes and just lands on the ground.
She kind of chirps, like,
We'll add a chirp effect.
or like caws or whatever.
So as lady caws, it echoes. And there is no response, but there's a small sort of shifting of something. Beyond the light, beyond the spindles of light, there is a darkness. And in that darkness, the temple sinks into the water. You can see where parts of it are submerged very fully, probably about 50 feet or so of water. And you don't know how deep it is, as you assume the water is coming from somewhere, so it probably breaks into the river at some point. Strangely, there is no current, so it doesn't seem to be entering into the building with enough force to, move the water about or anything.
So
It's still
some kind
water.
of natural spring, possibly.
You honestly don't know.
Okay.
Looking at it, you recognize that it is arcane. It has to be. There's
Oh.
no other way it could work because the temple wasn't originally in the water. It wasn't built like this. It fell into the water. As you are, as lady, looking across this water, she kind of strains her eyes and she begins to make out a figure. Atop the water, sitting, back facing you, you see a large, bulbous form. On its back are these jagged, crusted sort of protrusions. They look like barnacles or perhaps coral. It is covered in moss and draped with like seaweed, which you recognize doesn't really make sense for the river here.
Yeah, that's weird.
Looking at it closer, you can see that it's not draped in seaweed. Seaweed is coming from it as if it were hair. Not from the top of its head, but from its back, sort of like a little cape almost, kind of falling off of it in various sort of patches. It is, at this distance, just the sitting form of whatever this thing's back is about 4 feet tall and about 3 feet wide. As Lady chirps again, the form begins to rouse and stand. And as it stands fully to its height, it's about 10 feet tall.
Fuck.
It has strange sort of proportions. Its arms are very, very long, down past its knees. Its legs are very, very stout, but its chest and torso are quite long, and its head seems to be long as well, as it kind of bows down and stands up, and you can see this tall sort of head atop it. Its head, unlike the rest of its body, seems to be this bluish green sort of flesh, whereas the rest of the torso and stuff seems to be almost more like a crusted kind of exoskeleton, I guess you could say. And it has water essentially flowing from its head as if it were hair. And it flows about as if it were submerged in water, basically, like kind of, moving around. As it turns with its sort of long arms, it just kind of barely moves its head back towards the bird. And it says, "Why have you come to this sacred place?" And that is where we're going to end the session.
Fuck!
Seems like a good old chap.